Hey everybody, so today we got 10 more comps to go through that you can test out in your own games. And so the first one up is going to be 6 Skirmishers with Jax carry. This comp is very easy to play. It's a nice vertical trait. You just play the 6 Skirmishers and then you can easily fit in 3 Ironclad with Reroll and the Nautilus. You play this as a standard fast 8 comp, you go level 8 and then you roll for your Skirmishers and hopefully to hit Jax 2 stars. The most important thing about this comp is to make sure that Jax doesn't get CC'd. And the only items you need for him is that you need at least 1 Runons, so he's hitting multiple people. And then the 2 best other items are going to be Infinity Edge and Bloodthirster, but other items like GA and Dragon's Claw can also work. The main thing to keep in mind is that with Skirmisher, he's just getting more AD every single second, so items like Deathblade are not going to be that great. You want items that scale well with his AD. And with this comp, you have either Viego for a secondary carry, or you have like Nidalee or Kennen with Morelos. So next up is going to be Nocturne carry, otherwise known as Blender. This comp is pretty fun to play, although it is a bit hard to pull off because you're very reliant on hitting Nocturne 3-star. So you go to level 7 and then you slow roll at level 7 for Nocturne 3-star, and then you can also go for LeBlanc and Katarina 3-star as well. This comp just wants to stall the game as long as possible, so that Nocturne just builds up stacks on his Rage Blade, and then he will literally just instantly spin around in a circle for the rest of the fight, dealing insane amounts of damage. And so the items for Nocturne is a very item dependent character, and so you really need Rage Blade and you really need BT on him. The last item can either be the Shadow QSS, so he's always it's going to be immune to CC throughout the entire fight, or you can go for Infinity Edge for more damage. You don't really want to put items like GA or tank items on him because he's already got a free GA with the Revenant trait. So next up is going to be the new way to play Aphelios. I think in my last video I showed off that you play like 6 Nightbringers with it, but I've tested out Aphelios carry a lot more recently and he feels way better with going with a 4 Ranger build, and then he doesn't actually benefit that much from the Nightbringer trait at all. I think that you absolutely need 4 Rangers with Aphelios, and you need at least 2 Nightbringer. Going up to like 4 or 6 is just not necessary, because you just want that shield if he drops low, just to give him a bit more survivability. But he doesn't actually drop that low until like the later stages of the fight, so you're actually missing on a lot of damage if you're stacking up a lot of Nightbringers with Aphelios carry. And so essentially how this comp works is that you just it's just a fast 8 comp, just like the Jax comp, and then you roll for Aphelios. And then you just play Vayne over Kindred until you can find the Kindred. And then your frontline can kind of be anything, but I think that you definitely want like Taric for the 2 Verdant, and you just keep Ashe next to the Aphelios. And since then it just makes a lot of sense to play 4 Knights. You can kind of take out Thresh and Nautilus to put in like Mystic units, Ironclad units, whatever you feel like you need, or even go in like 3 Mystics. It's very flexible. I think that the only 6 units that are core are like these 6, and then these 2 slots can be whatever you want to. Now for items for Aphelios, you just want raw AD items, so anything that's been good on like any traditional AD carry in the past, like Ashe or Jhin or Jinx for example, it's going to be good on Aphelios. So like Infinity Edge, Hand of Justice, Rage Blade is good, BT is going to be good, Giant Slayer will be good in some lobbies, Deathblade is pretty good, Last Whisper is okay in some lobbies as well. And next up is going to be 5 Draconic. This is actually really fun comp to play if you hit the Heimerdinger at level 8. And so you basically play this whenever you find 3 Draconic in the early game, and then you use the gold from the Draconics to just stabilize off everything 2-starred, and then you just sell the extra Xyrus and Ashes and sets once you get them to power level up to 8 as fast as possible, and then you roll for Heimerdinger. If you hit 5 Draconic, you should be good, because you're going to get a lot of value out of the eggs. And then you actually need like a secondary carry, because you can stack Heimerdinger with AP, but if you have more AD items, then you want to go for Aphelios as a secondary carry, and if you have more AP items, then you can go for Vel'Koz as a secondary carry. Now I will say that this build is a very 1st or 8th kind of build. It's kind of 5 Draconic is basically 6 Fortune, because you get like more item components, Thieves Clubs, and then you also get you can get Force of Natures out of the golden eggs. Now next up is going to be Vayne reroll / Warwick reroll. Essentially just rerolling Forgottens. So you just slow roll at level 5 with this board. You can play Thresh over Hecarim if you want to. For Vayne, you need Runon's Hurricane. You need the regular one so it applies on-hit effects. And you really want like the spell crit. The shadow spell crit is insane because Vayne doesn't actually cast her spell since it's a passive. She doesn't get any drawback from the shadow jewel gauntlet. And then like Rage Blade is good on her. QSS is not bad. Or even just going like triple Hurricane or just putting on like Death Cap. That's essentially what you want with this comp. Since you are playing Forgotten's, that you want more cursed items though. With Warwick, you just want Archangel Staff to give him more AP. And then Death Cap can also work on him, or any tank items can also work. Whether you go for Warwick or Vayne carry when you're running this is up to you, but both can actually work. If you're playing Vayne carry, then you can just go for tank Warwick. And if you are playing Warwick as your main carry, you might not even need to play Vayne. You can play somebody else to give Warwick more support. In late game, you just go for 6 Forgottens. You just put in more of these units. Next up is going to be Vel'Koz carry with 6 Redeemed. Very standard fast 8 comp. And then this trade is really good, especially if you have a Gunblade on Vel'Koz, because he becomes so tanky that whenever he ults, he's going to heal to full again. And then he's so tanky that he'll basically be able to keep casting. Important things here is just to make sure your Lux is shielding your Vel'Koz by targeting farthest away, something with a Rel. And then also you want Kindred at least like 2 hexes away from the Vel'Koz, so that she is giving him the invulnerability. Yeah, once again, just fast 8 with us, and should be fine. Vel'Koz is basically Aurelion Soul from set 4. Just like IE, Jewel Gauntlet, Gunblade is going to be good on him, Death Cap's going to be good on him. GA is good on him if you are like putting him in the front line, but I think when you're playing Redeemed, it makes a lot of sense to just have him in the back line, since you want this guy to be the last one alive. Now the next one up is going to be Mordekaiser carry, a bit similar to the Skirmisher comp. You just go for 4 Dragonslayers, 3 Ironclad, and since we have 2 out of 3 Skirmishers with Pantheon Trundle, we just play the Jax, and then we go for an Ironclad frontline. And so from there, the really good items for him are just going to be Gunblade, so he can heal up after he deals massive amounts of damage, and then we want at least 1 Dragon's Claw, so he gets a lot of armor from Ironclad, and then he gets his MR from the Dragon's Claw. And then the third item just wants to be any AP or like a tank item, like Titan's Resolve can also be fine on him. And basically this playstyle is exactly the same, just fast 8, roll for Mordekaiser, and then you can also use Jax as a secondary carry, or Diana can also work too, by putting like IE and Death Cap and whatnot on her. And the next one up is going to be Renewer Reroll. Essentially you're just looking to reroll at level 5 for 3-star Vladimir for these 5 units. And then once you are able to hit Vladimir 3-star, you just go to level 8 and look for this level 8 board. Now the thing about Vladimir, you just want a bunch of Archangel staffs, because he's going to keep casting and he's going to keep staying alive with the Renewer trait, and then if he casts enough times, you're going to always win every single fight unless they have Kale. Make sure to have Vladimir as the Coven leader, so he gets more AP, and then late game, this guy is going to be your main carry, and then you can use Heimer as your secondary carry, or like a Darius. When you're rerolling, you can also go for Lysandra 3, Soraka 3, LeBlanc 3. But the only thing that really matters is Vladimir 3-star. And other items that can work on Vladimir are going to be like any AP items, or like my Gunblade and Death Cap, that kind of stuff. And having like Chalices for your team is also good. But best in slot is definitely 3 Archangel staffs, whether it be the regular one or the Shadow one. Now this next one is going to be Hellion reroll. This here you're going for either Ziggs carry or Kled carry, depending on who you hit 3-star. With Ziggs you just really need blue buff because he's only got 40 mana, and then the rest of the items are just AP. With Kled you just want AD items. Then you can also run Morello on Cannon. That's a really good item for him since he's like gonna dash all around it. If you get the Shadow Morello, that's actually insane on the cannon, because it burns for 100% of their HP. It's like kind of classic, you just slow roll at level 5, and then at level 6 you item Brand, and then Rise at level 7, and Teemo at level 8. So if you get Hellion Spat, that's your win condition to go for 7 Hellion, like this. And then our last build is going to be Abomination reroll. Here you're essentially just looking to go for level 7 and then slow roll with this board. You really, your win condition here is just as Brand 3-star and Victor 3-star. And then you want as many Z-Zerots as possible on your Abomination units. Z-Zerot is insanely broken in Abomination comp because Not only are you getting value when the champions themselves die, but you're also getting Ziggs value when the Abomination or the Monstrosity dies. It is insanely good right now. It's probably going to get nerfed, but it's still going to be good after it gets nerfed because it's just so insanely broken right now. And then, like I said, your win condition is just Brand 3-star and Victor 3-star. And so you're slow rolling at either level 6 or level 7 for this. If you're slow rolling at level 6, you take out the Lux and you play this board. If at level 7, you slow roll with this board. And make sure to split out your Ziggs route, so you can, for example, put a Ziggs route on Callista and just frontline her, because she doesn't matter as a carry. These two units are going to carry. And this Rise is just going to protect your Brand and Victor from assassins and whatnot. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, make sure to join the Discord server, because we've been playing a lot of in-houses over there. So if you have people to play with, this is kind of just quickly like what it looks like. And I'll link this in the description. And also comment down below and let me know what other videos you want me to make. And then thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.